Welcome to the Game 1 news conference of the NCAA Division I Baseball Championships Knoxville Super Regional. Joining us are representatives from Tennessee, left to right, head coach Tony Vitello, and student athletes Trey Lipscomb and Ben Joyce. Coach will make an opening statement, and then we will go into questions for all three representatives. Please raise your hand, and we will call on you. Coach?
Yeah, I don't have anything profound to say. Anytime you kind of step into this environment and, you got the crazies, as is in the students, and then also everybody else packing the house and giving as much energy as we ask our guys to give on the field. You feel a little bit disappointed you didn't do better for them, but that's the way it works. This is very competitive baseball at all times, but in particular this level, and playing a good team. And they played well, and we didn't. And that's part of the deal. Got to take the good with the bad. I think we're fortunate the score is the way that it was because, again, I think they played a really good baseball game. And if you broke down all the phases of the game, other than base running, because we didn't really have anything pop up there, we weren't as good as I think we're capable of being. But willing to answer any and all questions of any kind.
Start with Ben.
Tony, just what went wrong with Drew there, and Coach Anderson, just what was the explanation given to you there in that moment?
Yeah, it was hard because it's chaos, and you certainly don't want anything to get inflamed already than it already was, although clearly that was the case. But I think everyone reacted. We talked as a group when we did the meeting yesterday in the MVP room and then out on the field. It's going to be an emotional game. There's going to be things that happen. But he reacted to the pitch, was thrown out, and then I think Frank reacted too. But we talked about as sincere of a conversation as you can have back in the locker room. Frank wanted to make sure Drew didn't do anything to further worsen things or get a suspension. So at the time, I wasn't sure if it was, me. I reacted. I didn't say anything. I wasn't sure necessarily who got thrown out.
Joe, then Ryan.
So Tony, just to clarify then, Drew is out for tomorrow, Frank for 3 games. That's what we were told in the press box.
I'm going to sound like I'm not very good at my job, but I don't know that for a fact. I do know the umpire was saying get Drew out of the dugout, or else he's going to get suspended. And then later I was told that both of those guys would be suspended for tomorrow, but I honestly don't know how long. Shame on me.
If Drew is out, Tony, if Drew is out, what does that mean for you guys tomorrow?
You got to have a different guy in the 4-hole. I don't know necessarily who it would be, but we've had other guys in that spot. Drew went through a phase, in the year where a little bit of hamstring stuff, and then also we've mixed guys in and out of the lineup early in the year, not this deep. So we'll see. The guy we put in for him is a guy just like Drew. If I'm going down, I want to go down with that guy. So.
Hey, Joe, just to clarify, there's going to be the site rep will receive an umpire's report probably late tonight sometime.
Tony, what went wrong for Blake in those first couple innings?
2 strikes, man. 2 strikes. I would like to think if you ask their guys how he was throwing the ball, he's throwing the ball pretty well, but then there was blips on the radar screen, and you can get away with that at times, even against a good team, but they didn't miss when those blips showed up. So, I think a lot of them occurred with 2 strikes, and not an ideal day for him, but he's done a lot for us up until this point.
Mike.
Tony, is there an element of Notre Dame kind of playing the way you guys have all year? Homers, playing sound defense, good pitching, and they just kind of played that style better today?
They always play. Yeah, they obviously play better than us, but they always play sound defense. I think you could waste your time breaking down position by position who's got the advantage, but I think you got 2 really strong defenses, in this deal here, and I'd be shocked if you didn't across the country. Billy Joel there broke my train of thought, but obviously, the talk of our team has been homers have been involved, but I think they capitalize on mistakes, and our guys did too. They just kind of pieced a lot together there in the first 3 innings and first 4, I should say. First time looking at the box score. Kind of maybe put our guys on their heels a little bit. Pregame vibe yesterday. I think every coach, there's only so much you can do to get ready for this thing. I'd like to think, it's partly my responsibility that we didn't play better and handle some situations that came up in the game. But again, there's a lot of emotions that come into play, and maybe we're in that fog a little bit on defense and some other situations because they threw the first punch.
Troy.
Trey, one for 16 with runners on, had some similar struggles to that early against Campbell and Georgia Tech. So what do you guys have to do to kind of make sure that y'all are kind of maybe getting things going offensively and not leaving guys on the base like y'all have?
Yeah, just going in there and just doing our thing. I think it showed today that we have a bunch of guys in the lineup that can really do anything, up to down. But tomorrow we just go out there and do our thing.
Tony, obviously, top seeds in this tournament have had a rough go of it now for quite a while. Is there a pressure element to this? And when you mention the emotion and things, I mean, obviously there's a lot of expectations on this team. Do you worry about that with your guys?
Not really. They haven't given me much to worry about this year. I mean, maybe a couple different things that we've talked about as a team, and they're probably in the intangible category. But as far as focusing on outside noise or extra pressure or anything like that, I think they've had the season that they've had to this point because they don't. Trying to put it so I don't sound like a used car salesman, but they just aren't. They just aren't. I haven't seen them get too high or too low. We've had a game pop up on the radar screen, where we are kind of in that fog a little bit. As a matter of fact, when Trey and I were on the mound making a pitching change last weekend, I said those exact words, and they snapped out of it and played really well. I think tonight, maybe just too good of a team we're playing, or we dug ourselves too deep of a hole early, but I don't think that has anything to do with it. I mean, this is that time of year where crazy stuff happens. And I don't know the history. I mean, I've got friends. People don't think it for some reason, but I got friends at last year's 1 seed. That's the only reason I know the way that went down. But this is chaos. Welcome to it if you don't like it. Talking to these guys.
Other questions? Back to Ben.
Tony, just what's the message to the team after tonight, just with your season on the line tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I think when you play in our league, and they could say the same, and you kind of get to that 1-to-1 game on Sunday, which fortunately it took a while for us to kind of experience that, but when we did, we brought this up. It's like, this is a cutthroat game. It's the elimination type feel. Now, obviously, you could label this one differently, but it's still baseball. It's still a really good team, and it's still kind of the same vibe that occurred that day we talked about it, and then probably 5 or 6 times after, including our conference tournament and a little bit of last week where it's you kind of have that vibe like, it's all on the line or whatever cliche you want to. So you might as well say it to yourself because it ain't going anywhere, and you guys are going to say it, but then you got to put it in your back pocket because it's not going to change the fact you're playing baseball tomorrow, and you just need to play good ball. I don't think we played good ball tonight, as I mentioned before, and you guys all want to know, what are we doing at the SEC tournament, strategy and all that. I'm not smart enough to have strategy. We just wanted to play good ball. So I think if we're going to answer back or any of that stuff that I think is good to say, it's not anything special. It's try and come out and play good ball tomorrow because we did not today.
Ryan.
For the players, what was kind of the energy and the conversations like in the dugout after that 4th inning when I got 7 runs?
I mean, you just never really feel like we're out of the game with our offense. It's just kind of just try to stay in the game as much as we can and keep the vibes up and stay up for the whole game. But it wasn't like we thought we were out. We just always feel like we're in the game with this offense we have.
Joe.
Yeah. Tony, back on the Drew thing, did you get a sense for what was said there and whether the ejection was warranted?
It's not up to my discretion as far as what is or what is not, but I think he, I don't want to misquote the kid, but obviously he turned his back and said something about it being terrible or not a good call or, something to that effect. And so when he tossed him, like I said, I was kind of confused who it was that got ejected, but all that got cleared up and can't take it back. Can't take it back. Certainly pretty well documented across the country that the kid likes to win, plays with a lot of passion. At times, it's hard to control him. I joked at Georgia Southern last year to the umpire that I don't have control over him, but I can't be on the field with him. I wish I could. I'd kill to play with that kid. But he let it spill over a little bit there. And again, that's at their discretion, what is and what isn't. I sure enjoy competing with them and would like to do it again. But, yeah, like I said, can't take it back.
Troy.
Trey, I know you all always have confidence in yourself, but is there an added level of relief knowing when Chase is on the mound tomorrow and kind of get your SEC pitcher of the year to kind of try to keep going from elimination?
Yeah, no, Chase is a good guy. We like playing behind him. But like Coach said, it's just another day to come play baseball, and I think we're all excited. We're a bunch of competitors. We're just excited to come to the park tomorrow.
Trey, how big was the finish you guys had? The bullpen put up zeros for quite a while, and you did get some momentum going offensively. How big do you think that could be for tomorrow?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, the bullpen's always been there for us in the whole season. But at the end of the day, they threw more punches than we did, and they came out with the victory.
Any other questions? Thank you, gentlemen.
Yep.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.